I recently selected two of California's most recognized education and civic learning advocates for my Champion of Civics award. Their tireless work builds bridges and lights the trail for us all. Congratulations to Michelle Herczog and Dave Gordon. You are true champions of civics.
Very excited to have with us today two champions of civic learning, champions who've been with us for many years, and they are Dr. Michelle Herczog and Superintendent Dave Gordon. The Chief Justice presented both of you with this award, and you were with us on Power of Democracy Steering Committee many, many years ago when we established this award. And it's such a thrill to be able to give it to both of you, since you are not only state leaders in civic learning, but also national leaders. And we are so honored to have been able to work with you and look forward to working with you more in the future. What we thought would be great, besides congratulating you, is to find out from you what you think is on the horizon and what we can do working together to improve civic learning, particularly about the judicial branch.
Yeah, we were so surprised and grateful for the awards. We had no idea. And Justice McConnell, you should get an award or more than one award for all of your dedication and work in this field. And Michelle, you as well. And many more good things are to come, including we already have a date for next year's Civic Education Summit. So Michelle, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, but first of all, I too was just so thrilled to get this award. It was totally unexpected. If you saw the look on my face, you knew. Because we don't do this for the fame, obviously. We're just really dedicated to the cause. Yeah, we have a date set for next year, February 10th and 11th, 2026. We have that penciled in again at the Secretary of State's auditorium. So because of the enthusiasm from our summit this year, people are very excited for next year too.
I think one thing that's going to come forth within the next week or so is the legislative bill that we'll be sponsoring, which will call for significant civic education in the elementary and middle school years so that our young people get the grounding that they need in the way our government operates or should operate early on, and so they can also get involved in civic affairs early on, and their parents will be involved at that level when they're in elementary school and middle school.
Well, Superintendent Gordon, I know you have been pushing for many, many years that civic learning start at a young age, and particularly now that we have the seal of civic engagement for high school graduates, getting them engaged at an early age will help them achieve the goal of the seal of civic engagement. What I would like to hear, if you have any thoughts on it, is what more we as the courts can do to improve civic learning in addition to what we're already working on.
Michelle,
if you have any thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, as we expand into elementary and middle schools, any resources that you have or can help promote, particularly for students at those young ages. I know you have a few things on the Power of Democracy that we point to all the time, but more resources for especially grades 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, because if this bill becomes law, people are going to be asking us for those resources. And we know the courts are an integral part of civic engagement, civic learning. And so the more these young kids learn and understand, the sooner they'll have respect for the judicial branch and grow up to be informed, engaged, and go to jury duty and all those good things in support of everything that the judicial system does.
Well, that's terrific. And I'm hopeful that next year, which is an election year in the state for many judicial officers, that we can bring some focus on why is it that we elect judges. I know that's a question that came up at the last summit from the high school students, and how do we go about learning more about them? And that's something I think all of us can work on in educating both the students and their parents for the next election cycle.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think we can also help in putting the judiciary in touch with so many of the youth advocacy groups that are springing up all around the state. I sit on the State Mental Health Commission, and they're just putting out an RFP now to create a statewide youth advocacy movement in 8 regions of the state, and we can hook those students that get involved in that in with all of the work that's going on with the judiciary and civic education.
Well, that's terrific. And with all of the attention focused on the courts these days, it's important, I think, to continue to remind the students and their families of the importance of fair and impartial courts and how critical it is that judges, especially those of us here in California who are nonpartisan, that we remain non-political and above the fray, and so that we can retain the respect due the courts. But I want to thank both of you because both of you have been so helpful to us working with the judiciary and helping us move forward in many ways, and particularly the task force on civic education, which you both worked very hard on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would add too, Justice McConnell, I think you're absolutely right. We're reading in the papers every day references to the courts, state courts, federal courts, all levels. And I think it's important more than ever that our young people understand that it's an important branch of the government that has a significant role in our democracy, because they're going to have those questions. And I think it's important, as you say, for them to be educated on it more now than ever.
Yeah, and I'd just add that I think putting some of our judicial officers from different parts of the state before young people is going to make a tremendous difference. They need to see the quality and the nature of the people who are in the judiciary, and I think that will be very, very powerful.
Thank you both very much for all that you've been doing, and I really am excited and look forward to working even more with you in the coming months and years. And congratulations to both of you.